The night was cold and silent in the massive mansion of billionaire Charles Whitmore. The marble floors gleamed under the dim hallway lights, but in the far corner of the nursery, the scene was nothing like the lavish wealth surrounding it. Rosa, the young black maid hired only a week ago, sat on the floor, her back against the wall, cradling the sleeping infant wrapped in a thin blanket. The expensive crib stood empty, just feet away. Her eyes were heavy with exhaustion, but she refused to put the baby down. Charles had returned unexpectedly from a late business meeting. As he walked past the nursery, he caught sight of something that stopped him in his tracks. There on the cold hardwood floor, Rosa was sleeping upright, her arms still wrapped securely around his baby girl. Emily, the billionaire, quietly stepped inside. "Why are you down there?" he asked in a low voice, not wanting to wake the child. Rosa's eyes flew open, startled. She struggled to stand, but he motioned for her to stay seated. "The crib is right there," he said, puzzled. Her voice was quiet but steady. "Sir," Emily woke up crying. She wouldn't calm down, not until I held her. I was afraid if I'd put her back, she'd start again. I didn't want to wake you. She glanced at the crib, then back at him. I didn't realize I'd fallen asleep here. I didn't want her to feel alone. Something in Charles's chest tightened. Since his wife passed away a year ago, Emily had been restless at night, refusing to sleep unless she was in someone's arms. Most nannies had quit after a few days, frustrated with the constant care she required. But here was Rosa, new to the house, earning a fraction of what others had been paid, choosing the hard floor over comfort, just so the child could rest peacefully. "Did you have a blanket?" he asked. She shook her head. "I didn't want to move and risk waking her." Charles looked at her again, noticing the faint tremble in her hands from the cold. Without another word, he took off his suit jacket and draped it around her shoulders. "Could have asked for help," he said. Rosa smiled faintly. "Sometimes people just need someone to stay. Not someone to fix it right away, just stay." The words hit him harder than he expected. For the first time in months, Emily had slept through the night, and it was because Rosa had stayed. The next morning, he called Rosa into his study. She hesitated, unsure if she had done something wrong. Instead, Charles gestured toward the armchair. "Rosa, I saw what you did last night. You've been here a week, and already you've shown more care than anyone else has in months. I need to ask why." She looked down at her hands. "Sir, I lost my own daughter 3 years ago. She was just a baby. When I see Emily, I can't help but give her the kind of love I wish I'd had more time to give my own child. Even if it means the floor. Even if it means I'm tired, she's worth it." Her voice cracked, but she steadied herself. Charles felt something shift inside him. This wasn't just about a job for her, it was personal. It was love in its purest form. He leaned forward. "Rosa, you shouldn't be sleeping on the floor in my house. From now on, you'll have your own room next to Emily's nursery, furnished properly. And you're not just the maid anymore. You're her full-time nanny." With a salary to match, Rosa's eyes widened in disbelief. "Sir, that's too much," but he held up a hand. "You've earned it." From that day on, Rosa became part of the family. Emily's restless nights slowly faded, replaced by quiet, peaceful sleep. Charles noticed the change not just in his daughter, but in himself. For months, he had been buried in business meetings and boardroom decisions, avoiding the grief of his wife's passing. But Rosa's compassion had reminded him of something money could never be: genuine human care. One evening, months later, Charles walked past the nursery again. He found Rosa sitting in the rocking chair, softly singing to Emily, who was curled against her chest. She looked up and smiled. "She's out like a light." He smiled back, "because she knows she's safe." And in that moment, Charles understood sometimes the smallest acts of love happen quietly, without grand gestures or expensive gifts. They happen when someone chooses to stay, to care, and to love. Even if it means sleeping on the floor. Do you also want me to add the full SEO package with description, keywords, and tags like in your other scripts? That way this script is ready to post.